You know, one thing I gotta say, okay? You always know, and if you don't know, you always know who is loyal and who is not loyal, who's family and who's not family. And for a long time now, I've gone by the, you know, idea that family doesn't really end in blood. I got a lot of people that are not blood related that are my best fucking friends that have done so much more like family to me than my blood related relatives. And the last month, my grandfather got sick and he passed away. This way of thinking has been proven even further correct. This weekend alone has shown me, you know, well, not so much this weekend as compared to the last month in general. To start with, I had a relative from my grandfather's side that fucking, played games with me, and about a week before he passed away, these people came to me and they put their asses out there and said that they wanted to take me under their wing and help me out and do all kinds of shit for me. And 2 days later, they disappeared off the face of the fucking planet. You know, played fucking games. I'm trying to reach out to them. I tried to reach them when my grandfather died a week later. I couldn't get a hold of them. You know where they were? They were down the motherfucking shore. They were down the fucking shore having fun, splashing around in the fucking pool. Birthday. Probably prior arranged. Um, but they could have picked up the fucking phone and called me and said, "Yo, Tom, we heard what happened to your grandfather. We want to get together and we want to talk about this and we want to be there for you." Didn't happen. I got something on Facebook where one of the two people said, "Hey, I'm gonna reach out to you tonight. I'm gonna give you a call when I get home from work, and we can talk." I never heard shit. I never heard shit. So they proved themselves to be the usual, typical assholes that I've dealt with for the last 10 fucking years of my life. Then you got this past weekend, someone from the other side of the family, from my dad's side of the family, and they're fucking 70% of them are all real fucking winners. Don't get me wrong. There are a few people on there on that side that I care about. Maybe they're not reliable, but I still care about them because they don't do some of the shit that some of the other people do. But this particular person reaches out to me on the day before the wake of my grandfather. I'm actually in the car on the way home with my grandfather's ashes when this person calls me up and says, "Oh yeah, your grandmother wants to talk." And my grandmother from that side of the family, mind you, I don't know. I barely know this woman. I'm 30 years old, and in the 30 years of my life, I barely know this woman. Okay? Barely. So, she puts my grandmother on the phone, and they proceed to put me on the spot together. Pretty sure I was on speakerphone. I don't really know for sure. I'm 90% sure I was on speakerphone, but my grandmother proceeds to ask me, "Oh, your grandfather passed away." Again, there's no relation between the two of them. These are two separate sides of the family. My grandfather, who just passed away, was from my mother's side of the family. What I'm talking about here is from my father's side of the family. Two separate sides. So she says, "Oh, your grandfather just passed away. That rec room you got down there, it must be open up now, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, can you be my caretaker? Can I move in down there and you can take care of me and all that good stuff?" You put me on the fucking spot now, okay? You put me on the spot. I've just had the worst month and a half. I gave up my goddamn job because my grandfather got sick. And weeks after I gave up my job, he was in the hospital. And weeks after he was in the hospital, he was fucking dead. I'm preparing for a fucking gathering, basically a wake that I'm putting on my own
I'm doing all this shit on my own because I can't afford to pay a fucking funeral home to do it. Well, I had to pay for them to be cremated. Nobody fucking helped me with that shit. I had to fucking pay to do a gathering to have the ones that did care to fuck about him to come over and see him one last time, all on my own. And you're asking me if you can move into his room not even a month after he fucking died.
In the middle of me dealing with all this shit. Excuse me while I remind you, I'm 30 years old and I barely fucking know you. And you got the balls to ask me something like that. And let me tell you one thing. The majority of my life has consisted of taking care of other fucking people. Some people, I love them so goddamn much it wasn't their fault. I would have done it even if there was somebody else to fucking do it instead of me. I did what I had to do. I loved my mother. She was my best fucking. With my grandfather, his daughter. I did what I had to do. And then there are some other people that I've taken care of in my life because I just had no fucking choice. And I'm about done with that. I really am. I'm about done with taking care of everybody but me. Everybody but Tom. And I'm done with it. You got the balls to ask me if you can move into my house, into the room where my grandfather lived, and have me be your caretaker. I've told you, you've asked me this subtly in the past while he was still alive, if I could do that, and I've told you about 4 or 5 fucking times, no. The only difference now is that the room is open. My grandfather died, and you thought, oh, Ed is dead. Ed is dead, that kind of rhymes. Gotta laugh or I'm gonna cry. You thought Ed is dead. Let me hit up Tommy and see if I can take his fucking room. And that is the most cold, selfish, ridiculous fucking thing I've ever fucking seen anyone do in my life. That called me with her. She's got her problems. I've got my reasons to not want to be around her, but I tried to put up with her. But now I'm like, no. If you could condone that, she wants to say, oh, it wasn't my idea. But, if it wasn't your idea, you would have said, no, let's not do that. This isn't the right time. Tommy's father just died. He's got to get his own head together. He's got too much shit on his back. If you cared at all, you would have shut that shit down before it even got fucking rolling. That phone call never would even be fucking made if you gave a shit at all. And that's the problem with my father's side of the fucking family. Their side, my mom's side, they got their issues too. But the problem with my father's side of the fucking family is they don't give a shit about nobody but them fucking selves. And I'm not putting up with it no more. I am 30 years old, and I've dealt with it enough. I dealt with it with my dad because he was like that too. Not as bad as them, but he had his fucking shit. If you care about nobody but yourself, fuck yourself. Okay? I want nothing to do with you. You will not take advantage of me. I got enough shit on my fucking... You hit me up in the darkest times of my fucking life and asking the fucking world of me. Yo, Tommy, how you doing? That for you? Or, can I help you with this or that or blah, blah, blah? Or can I take your sister for the weekend and, try and make her feel better? I didn't get none of that from you. I didn't get a fucking thing like that from you. The first time you reach out to me after he dies, you're reaching out to me to ask me if I can let you move into his fucking old room. Not even a month after he fucking died. Family don't end in blood. Just because you're family, just because you're blood doesn't mean you're family. You gotta earn that. And I agree with it 100% of the way. And that's another part of the last 10 years of my way of thinking. And like I said, the last month, that way of thinking is correct. There are people, don't get me wrong, there are people that are blood related that are great people.
No doubt about it. I seen a few people yesterday at the gathering that were fucking people, and I love them, and I want to see them again. And I am so glad that they came out, and I am so glad that they've gone out of their way to call me every chance to and ask me how I'm doing, and tell me that they care about me. Essentially, their uncle, my grandfather is their uncle. They're reaching out to check on me and to tell me how they feel and to see if I'm okay and see if there's anything they can do. And they came out to the gathering yesterday, and I love them. But for the most part, blood does not make family. Just because you're blood doesn't mean you're family. You gotta earn that. That's all I got to fucking say.